Welcome to ATN Society Watch. This is a program where we ventilate societal issues, give them aggregate attention with a view to proper solutions that will benefit humanity. And today on Society Watch, we will be discussing on a number of issues. First, from Rivers State, where police begins Operation Zero Crime. And from Unicall, Amnesty International seeks impartial probe into alleged sexual exploitation. On Jabra Ketiarin, FCC Commissioner denies receiving money, opens accounts for scrutiny. And on aviation, security logistics workers begin strike over wage review. These are the issues that we're looking at today on Society Watch. And we'll be having with us today an editor, Robo Voice, a newspaper. And of course, I won't be doing this alone. I have my co-host with me. Yeah, when we return from this very short break, we will introduce our guests and take on the conversations. Just to stay tuned. Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is Society Watch on Atlantic Television Network. And we have with us the editor Urobo Voice newspaper. Good luck, Ed Daffy. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's look at our first issue from Rivers State. The Rivers State Police Command has launched Operation Zero Crime in the state. This is part of its effort to combat crimes and make Rivers State a haven for residents and investors. The one-week program initiated by the State's Commissioner of Police, Nwoye Polycarp Emeka, is aimed at ensuring a safe environment across the 23 local government areas of the state, as well as passing the message that police is your friend. The coordinator of the program, Kate Ezebo, a journalist, disclosed this after a meeting with the committee where she said the State Police Command was in partnership with the Rivers State Council of Nigerian Union of Journalists, Performing Musicians Association of Nigeria, comedians, hoteliers, and corporate organizations in the state to ensure that the state is safe. Others involved in the planning of the program include legal and medical practitioners, lecturers, and Nollywood actors. Ezegbo said the one-week event will feature a road walk, a workshop, medical outreach by the Commissioner of Police, essay competition, beauty pageant, football competition, and concert. According to the statements, the Commissioner of Police, his management team, and officers will embark on a stop-and-search routine, present gift items, and visit major flashpoints to educate youths on why they should shun crime and live a responsible and crime-free life. She also hinted that the police boss will initiate an amnesty program that will provide an opportunity for cultists and those involved in crime to denounce vice, lay down their weapons, and reintegrate back into the society. But this seems like a very laudable program. To curb crime in the society, zero tolerance to crime. But if you look at this, we have the actors, the P-man, the lawyers, the medical practitioners on this, and the journalists on all of this. Looking at the society and the rate of crime in the society, do you think that composition is comprehensive enough to tackle this? Because I am looking at the fact that we have left out the traditional institutions out of it. We've left out the youth bodies, which seem to be very important sectors in the society. What's your take? Good luck, Edafe.
Well, our country is full of drama, and day by day we roll out different kind of activities that we feel can help us achieve certain things. I think this is just one of such activities. Otherwise, I don't see what a journalist will do when we talk about crime fighting, talk about comedians, talk about movie actors. I don't see how well they can come into crime fighting in a normal society. But well, as it is, it's just one of those activities that we have in our society to say that at least we are making effort. When you talk about zero crime in Rivers State, that is a bold statement. Zero. When you say zero, that is to say there will be no aspect of Rivers State where you have one. Because when you talk of zero, means less than one. You can't even have one. That is the statement the commissioner is making. Well, considering the nature of our society, the level of equipment that they have, I pity the police sometimes. Just that was today's Wednesday. On Monday night, the thieves came around our area there, and they robbed some people within the neighborhood. That's the state we are talking of, zero tolerance for crime.
So I actually, when I heard this zero tolerance, I'm okay with it. At the same time, it's shaking me a little bit. Because, like you said, looking at the level of insecurity, is it just about doing this program, letting them surrender? When they surrender whatever's in their holding, what next? Are they going to engage them in doing something that would divert their mind? Because even the Holy Bible said that an idle man is an evil workshop. When they keep being idle, I think that is what triggered them from doing some things that they do. So after this program, what's next?
See, the truth of the matter is that even somebody who is working still somebody who works, they steal. So it's not just only an issue of an idle mind. We have this, those who steal, they steal, whether they have or they don't have. It's a spirit governing some people. But for some of us, I don't see, as I am today, the level of poverty, the level of hunger will make me to go and steal somebody's property. What am I going to do with it? You understand? But that is for me and for you. But for some people, even though they have food in their houses, they steal. Those who steal Nigerian money, are they poor people? Or is it only when somebody is still with, go and cut somebody's plantain? There's a plantation near my area there. The young man, he will not allow it to mature, because before you know it, the neighborhood, somebody will just go there and collect it. So we cannot reduce stealing. Where police talk about stealing in Nigeria, you cannot reduce stealing to somebody is stealing in the neighborhood, stealing fowls, stealing goats, stealing people's phone and all that, or kidnapping. You can't reduce stealing to that. The major stealing in this country is the stealing of public fund. What has the police done on that matter?
Maybe they are
so
trying
the
to start
issue
from somewhere. If we can tackle the little ones that are
what is the little
society,
one?
then we can go higher.
What is little one? What do you call little one? A thief is a thief. A thief is a thief. So you can't, any society where somebody steals and you see him as a big man, you respect him. Then another man, because he has nobody behind him, he has no helper, then you say you must die today. You must die today. And that is the way our judiciary has been reduced to. When it involves the big politicians, they play down on the rules. They give them soft landing. But the same court can sentence somebody, the same citizen of the same country, to 15 years, 20 years imprisonment for stealing what?
That depends on the prowess of the lawyer in charge of it.
It's not a bad issue of lawyer. I wrote an article recently talking about King Solomon as the best judge in the world. All of us have conscience. Nigeria just play around the laws. Otherwise, when a matter is presented, even to you without being a lawyer, you have mind, you have brain, you can think. These two people, who is saying the truth? The judiciary is a place where you provide a platform for the truth, for justice to manifest. So a good judge is somebody who is going to come on board. When the lawyer is dancing this way, he knows that the lawyer is playing to the gallery. He directs them to the issue.
But judgment is going to be based on the evidence before.
Is what we are saying. The two women before King Solomon have no evidence. They have no evidence.
But again,
just excuse me. But King Solomon knew that the matter before him, before his court, is to establish.
Well, we both know that
truth.
Solomon's wisdom is not.
So we don't have wisdom. So now let's go to the issue.
Let's look back at this issue right now. You have said that this is more like playing to the gallery. What do you think the police can actually do? Because it seems like the new CP has the intention to actually curb the level of crime in the society.
There are people.
What can he do?
There are people the CP cannot arrest in River State.
Why are you so confident about that?
You know now.
We don't know. That's what you're asking.
You know, there are people in River State that the CP cannot arrest. That is the structure of our society. So for me, I cannot be excited. Yes, I must commend him. If he has done well, I must commend him. I don't have a tendency to rubbish somebody if somebody is doing well. I don't have that character. But what I'm saying is that what is good for the good is good for the gander. All of us are citizens of Nigeria. Our fight against crime cannot only be against the poor and helpless citizens of this country. And that is my pain. So when you dramatize issues of security, as if only the poor people are the thieves in this country.
No, they didn't talk about the poor precisely.
They
said they want to do zero.
Yes, zero. So when you say zero, there are people. The other day I went to renew my driver's license. Is it not a government establishment? Mm-hmm. If I'm to pay any amount, is it not the federal post I should pay to? They gave me personal account to pay the money into. for a license,
you obliged?
For a license that comes from the federal government. Now, why? It's because the amount I'm supposed to pay, it might not be up to the amount they want me to pay. And you begin to go, all these are corruption, all these are crime against society. So when you talk about zero,
on the path to fighting crime in the society, and just like you said, we hope that this is going to cut across all strata of the society. Well, let's go straight to our next issue from Unical. International non-governmental human rights organization Amnesty International has urged the Nigerian government to carry out an unbiased investigation into the alleged sexual exploitation of female law students of the University of Calabar, Cross River State, by the Dean of Faculty of Law, Professor Cyril Ndimfon. The International Human Rights Organization, in a statement on its handle on X, formerly known as Twitter, said Amnesty International calls on the Nigerian authorities to impartially investigate serious allegations of sexual exploitation of female students by lecturers at the Faculty of Law, University of Calabar. The authorities of the University of Calabar and other relevant agencies must act now and investigate all allegations against the lecturers thoroughly, promptly, and impartially. Despite Nigeria's international human rights obligation to enact, implement, and monitor legislation addressing all forms of violence against women, women and girls continue to face discrimination daily. This is unacceptable and must end. Well, that issue went viral on Monday, where the students staged a protest seeking the removal of the Dean of Faculty because he was sexually exploiting them, he was sexually harassing them, and they weren't comfortable. It's more like they had it up to maybe their neck, and they weren't going, they were their throats, and they weren't going to take it anymore. And then they decided to launch that protest yesterday. But we also saw that the professor in question had come out to say, well, this is the handiwork of my enemies. I won the second time to be the Dean of Faculty, and so they have risen up to engineer the students against me and all of that. The University Authority have also begun their own internal investigations, but Amnesty International is calling on the federal government because this, according to them, the issue of sexual exploitation of students and women generally is becoming a menace in the Nigerian society. What is your take? Good luck, Edape.
Well, it is part of the issues that we have been discussing, that we hear all sorts of things in our country. Yes, a lecturer who's supposed to discharge his duty to the students. Many of them, and in several cases, we have seen them descend to the nadir of fraternizing with young girls, you know. But like he said, Nigeria is a country where anything can happen. People can sponsor students against the prof, as he has said, but the matter must be investigated. Government is a serious business. We have not come to that level of where governance is in our, and that is the problem we are having. Otherwise, this kind of message, this kind of news will be a thing of the past in our society. But at the end of the day, like what we've just said, it depends on the level of the professor in society, or a matter of who you know. By the time you know Mr. A, you know one big man somewhere, you know, and by the time you know the matter, we go here, the investigation will go here and there, and at the end of the day, nothing happens. That is the situation of our country. But where we have a society where a matter can actually be investigated, and the truth of that matter will come out, and the person, the culprit, person found guilty in this kind of embarrassing situation, properly dealt with, then we can, this issue of female harassment and all that, we can reduce it to a barest minimum. But in our situation, it's not so. We give it a wave of hand. Once it happens, it's is the handiwork of an enemy. And the students themselves too, they can also, by themselves, plot. If the man is too strict, somehow, in the way he handles his things. Nigerians are wonderful people. Even in our own small enclave, in our own little environment here, if you are too strict on a matter, people hate you. I'm a victim of that many times. I can mention 1, 2 places where it has happened. Even in the church, it happens. Where you are such a person that stand on the truth, that this thing must be done this way. And this is brother, you are the one that is at fault. Once you do that, they mark you. You are not growing wings. That is the way our society is structured. And I've always said it, that education has not reformed us. The essence of going to school is to think properly. And the essence of being a religious person is to appreciate the value of justice and equity. You can't be a religious person and you are seeing a matter of injustice and you are dancing here, you are clapping, and at the end of the day you call Jesus. Which matter you use? The matter you cannot use to say truth in the matter. You use it to call Jesus. You are just deceiving yourself. So for us, this kind of a thing, as they have said, it should be properly investigated. As it is now, the matter is neither here nor there.
Well, we are excited about the fact that the human rights has come into this matter. And yesterday I was just thinking, because he actually pointed out some things that that actually somehow it was looking like maybe they staged this against him, according to what he actually said. But again, what if they get to, what at the end of the investigation, they realize that the man is actually not guilty? What would they do? Because it was a whole department that came out, a whole faculty, to say. So what happened to them? Will all of them go in for it?
Obviously. They see, multitude does not inhibit punishment. That because people are 100 that committed a crime, it doesn't stop punishment. If you are 2, if you are 3, if you are 100, if you are 200, whatever that is should be meted to one person who committed that same crime, it should be extended to all of you. How can you gang up? It's a conspiracy now. If it's final, like you have said,
yes.
If it's final, it becomes a crime. Not just the man alone, but against the society, against the state. How can you do that? How can you connive that this man, let us do him like this? We must stop such, so that we discipline them, so that next time it will not even occur to them in their slimmest faculty of thinking that we should think of such a thing against any human being.
But again, but do you think
this Professor Cyril Ndimfon has been accused for sexual exploitation before in the same university, and that well, I don't know how that was treated, but nothing happened to him and everything just moved as though nothing happened, and then we are seeing this accusation again.
Well, when you talk about issue of sexual exploitation in the university, except you are far away from the university system, otherwise it cannot go away. Because what I'm saying is not as if I'm not supporting it, but what I'm telling you, sometimes these girls willingly offer themselves because the course they cannot pass. I don't know whether I get what I'm saying. I'm very close to the university environment, and I'm seeing a lot of things. If you give from now till next month, some of these girls cannot pass that exam. So some of them offer themselves willingly. Some of them go to the lecturer to seduce. If you go to the campus, see what women are wearing. Even women, we are trying.
Talking about dressing. Yesterday I was talking with my.
We are trying.
I was talking about with my uncle, and then looking at it, if you look at law departments, I think that's one of the most decent dressed faculty talking about. Okay. So because yesterday I made mention of that some of these girls, they actually dress to go and seduce the lecturer, and she was like, no, this is it. So do you think, when you are saying that this cannot go away, this actually came up and they are fighting this because they want to stop this in universities because it's a problem? You see people go to school, they come out with absolutely nothing in their head.
That's what we are saying.
So until this, is there no way the government can stop this? Because until this is stopped, it's still going to be a problem. But when you are so optimistic that this cannot go away, why are you so...
When I say this cannot go away, it will go away by the time our girls will speak to themselves. I am in this university to read book. Are you with me? I am not here to play. I am not here to look at somebody's face. But I am here. My parents sent me here to read book. Is it management? I should be talking management. Is it marketing? I should be talking marketing. Is it economy? Is it engineering? I should be speaking engineering. Until they tell themselves that.
Now,
But this scenario that we have at the moment, where they just go to school, stroll around, and find means to take pass exam, this thing cannot. That's what I mean. But this thing cannot go away.
If we align with you on the fact that most of these female students go about in seductive ways and even push the lecturers out of their ways to do their bidding in order for them to gain good grades and pass.
Yes.
What good do you think these lecturers are doing to the society?
I mean, in fact, you know, they are not doing good to society, obviously speaking. There's no good in that. In fact, it's the height of immorality. Because most of these lecturers should be married and all that. But for them to descend to the level of playing around with small girls and all that is the height of immorality. It's not good. I am not supporting it. But what we are saying is there are men. You might have this sense of resistance. You just see a girl, back in, be you. But that which you have done, another man will see the same girl. It will be following him. It will be following him until he gets to a tight corner where he can. That's just the nature of man. So when a girl will dress or a man, you come around and everything is showing. You sit in the front of the man. As you are sitting, you are shaking your body so that the man will notice you and all that. Not all men can stand against that.
Well, like Amnesty International said, this investigation has to be unbiased and thorough so that we can get to the root of this. And I really do hope that the issue of sexual harassment and exploitation in Nigerian universities, as much as we might not have a 0%, we should have a drastic reduction in all of this. The government really needs to rise up to this because it is not too good for a nation. We'll go on a very short break and we will be right back. Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is Society Watch on Atlantic Television Network, and our next issue is on job racketeering. Maman Alakai, Commissioner representing Nasarawa State in the Federal Character Commission on Tuesday, denied receiving money to secure employment for job seekers. Alakai, who appeared before the House of Representatives Ad Hoc Committee probing job racketeering in federal government agencies in Abuja, denied collecting money to secure jobs for anyone in any ministry, department or agency. The news agency of Nigeria had reported that Musa Ibrahim, one of the victims of job racketeering, while appearing before the committee on August 14th, claimed he, alongside 9 others, paid millions into Mr. Abdullahi Ibrahim's account. He said Ibrahim acted as the link man to the commissioner representing Nasarawa State to collect money from job seekers willing to pay. Meanwhile, Alakai, in his defense before the committee, said he knew Ibrahim in question, but added that, contrary to his claims that he was his personal assistant, Ibrahim had never been my PA or worked in the FCC. Alakai challenged the committee to investigate his account to ascertain the claim, saying, "My account is open for the committee to scrutinize, since Ibrahim claimed he paid money to me for job slots." Rep Yusuf Gadgi, the chairman of the committee, said about 9 people have evidence of a transfer made to Ibrahim. He said that was why Alakai was invited to appear before the committee to give evidence, since he claimed he was working for him. Angered by the non-appearance of Musa Ibrahim, who made the allegations, the chairman said, "You can't come and make public allegations against any public officer without coming to substantiate it. We have nothing to say to you further because the people making allegations are not here. If they are not acting a script, they should be here to give further evidence. If you cannot justify that you pay money for any job slots with evidence, we will not allow any citizens to blackmail people without facts," he said. The chairman vowed never to call anyone to appear before it again in FCC, adding that the committee had established 2 things exist in the commission. This, according to him, includes accusations against the chairman and selling of job slots among commissioners. This is very, well, let me not say very laughable, but let's look at it from 2 angles. First of all, from the Alakai, the commissioner representing Nasarawa State in the FCC, saying that, well, I did not receive any money from anyone. The Ibrahim you're talking about, who claims to be my PA, has never worked for me as a PA. And so if you feel that anyone paid money to me for any such reasons, my accounts are open for you to verify. Edafe, what is your take?
Well, Nigeria, it's all denial, all true. Is there anybody that you accuse in Nigeria who will say, "Oh, true, I really done this"? Have you seen it in Nigeria?
But he's saying you can verify from my account statement.
We agree on the surface. Have you seen it in Nigeria? The other day we heard of retired Justice Mary Odili, and he coming to her to deny the allegation that he was fronting for some politician, the Supreme Court and all that. Nigerians don't own up to issues like this. And it's part of the issues we have.
No, but if you say Nigerians do not own up, like the case of Justice Mary Odili, you said there is no substantiable evidence to prove that she said anything or not.
Yes.
And so these are just mere allegations. And you don't expect anyone to say, well, you just keep quiet, your image is at stake. So she had to do what she had to do.
I agree with you. No argument about that. Whether there's evidence or no evidence. Nobody agrees in Nigeria that what you are saying of me is true. I'm just making a blanket statement.
But it's not just in Nigeria. This is something that happened all over.
No, not all over the world. Not all over the world.
It is because you see people denying allegation, but at the end of the day, they will be guilty. So it's not just in Nigeria.
Not just in Nigeria, but it's part of our culture. It's what I'm telling you. It's our culture.
It's also part of our culture to accuse people.
It's what I'm telling you. It's what I'm telling you. It's our system. You understand? Now, you don't just accuse somebody.
Okay.
That, oh, you have done this. You must have your evidence. But sometimes, these people, before coming out for that or such accusations, they don't do their homework very well. Very many of these accusations I can tell you may be correct, but because of their foolishness, I say foolishness because you are dealing with such a matter without you thinking of tomorrow, such that you can have something in your hand to show that this is what we did, this is what we did. I did, there's one transfer, like all these grants we talked about here and there in Nigeria. They ask you to pay money, you pay money. They will tell you, pay the money so account. They don't give you their own personal account. Personally, I've done that. They don't give you receipt. They don't do anything. But when you come out today, say you pay so money to such people, they will deny.
But in this story, do you see any form of threat? Because if people actually, I mean, if they someone say, okay, I paid money into so account, at least one or two should come out. But in a situation that nobody came out, and they said about 7, do you see any form of threat there?
Sometimes these persons are very crafty. The people who are receiving the money, who are receiving, they are very crafty compared to the people paying the money. Nigeria, because of what they have passed through, some have become very desperate. Well, it doesn't mean we trust him. Let's just do it. We trust him. Let's just do it. Nigerians act on that. They act on impulse so much. Even this Ajuri employment that was cancelled and all that. People pay a lot of money. People paid a lot of money, but who today will agree that they receive 1 naira from one single individual?
Because nobody has come out to say that.
Because
that's what I'm saying. Nobody will come out because
don't ask anybody to pay.
Nobody will come out because they are still assuring them, don't worry, we are still working on it. By the time it will come, you will still go back. They are still, you don't know what is happening in this country. They are still working on the psyche of the people. So if you want to make trouble, suppose this come out again, you will lose out to. So they threaten the people in one way or the other. So the people are cowed. Such that, well, let's see hope now. Let's see hope now. By the time they are still doing what they are doing, you can still be considered. After all, we are the people in charge. We are still doing it. So by the time they brainwash them like that, and they are not as if you even have any evidence. Because when you go to them and say, bring something, and we will do this for you, and you want to say, okay, where is the receipt for this thing? You don't even have the courage to ask for a receipt because you feel that he's doing you a favor. So you don't have the courage to say, give me receipt for this money, I am paying to you. There's no such thing. So we just do it. After all, make a come up for this employment wahala and all this and all that. That's just our mentality. So this scenario, this young man, it might be true that they paid money, but because they don't have evidence with which they can nail the young man.
To appear again when the commissioner showed up.
But I think they said they closed it because the people who claim they paid money, they did not come.
And I was wondering, since they said they are not going back on this matter, if they finally come up with some evidence, do you think they will still look into it again?
Obviously, if we have a clean society, by the time, the other time, maybe whether they were properly informed or properly invited, or they were aware that such a thing will be taking place that day, is another issue. And at the end of the day, they have claim, they have evidence to say, yes, we have evidence, but that very day you say we should come, we didn't know about it and all that. Now, this is our evidence. So it's on the onus on the committee. So, okay, fine, let us give you another platform for you to, another opportunity for you to come and show us the evidence that you have against him. But because they were in a hurry to close it, because they were the same people in the same what do you call it? The same chamber. They are the same people. So they don't like exposing one another. They have a tendency of covering one another. It's within our system.
You think if this was about covering one another, this investigation would have reached this extent?
Anita. Anita, the way you look at this, our country.
No, because this was followed thoroughly for some time, and up to this extent where the commissioner had to show up.
If it's said false, if it's false, that's a false allegation, it becomes a case of libel.
Yeah.
That you have defamed my name. You didn't give me money, and you blackmailed me all over the world, and you gave me money to secure employment, and there was nothing like that. Then let the man himself too take them to court for libel, for assassination of character. They should take them to court. Let him go approve it. It's both sides. Because if you were to me, if you have done that against me, I will take you to court. If my conscience is clear, that look, it's an opportunity now to make extra money. Because if I take you to court, go and see you for 100 million, 200 million. For
we're talking about job seekers.
yes, that job seeker. If you are does it make you to talk anyhow because you are a job seeker? Does a job seeker not have a sense of responsibility? Is a job seeker an avenue for you to be reckless in speech?
Really, but on the whole, what's your assessment of the level of investigation carried out by the House Committee?
The level of investigation, for me, they should still give opportunity a second time. We have invited you people to come and prove your claim. We are giving you people a second chance. Come and prove your claim. If at the end of the day, you did not come this second time, then we will conclude that it's a false allegation you are making against, I think Ibrahim, or what is that his name?
Yes.
Fine. It's a false allegation you are making against him. And whatever Ibrahim want to do with you people, it's a choice on him. You understand? But just to say, because people didn't come today, therefore we are closing it, it becomes a case of a judgment in a hurry.
Well, we don't know why the House Committee decided to close this, even though they said on the whole they have found out that there are allegations against the commissioner and that slots in the commission has been sold amongst the commissioners. That was where they ended their investigations. We don't know what they're going to do.
But are you not aware that in this country they sell slots? Slots. Are you not aware they sell slots?
Let's go straight to our
Nigeria is ever satisfied?
On aviation, security across the country's efforts may be challenged today as well. Security workers in the aviation and logistics in the country have been directed to withdraw their services today. In a circular issued by the National Union of Air Transport Employees, assigned by the General Secretary of NUAT, Comrade Ochime Abba, with copies sent to all the chief executive officers of the aviation agencies, the commissioner of police at the airport, and the DSS, titled Circular Letter to all aviation security and logistics employers in Nigeria. The union informed of the notice of withdrawal of services. Circular partly reads, as you are all aware, the union has done everything possible to resolve the lingering crisis of airstream impoverishment of employees of the aviation sector, AFSEC, and logistics subsectors of the aviation industry in Nigeria, but to no avail. The management of all the companies in the business have all failed to secure decent contracts that can provide fair remuneration for their workers. With current salary levels as low as 30,000 naira a month for graduates, there is no gain in saying that AFSEC employment in Nigeria is nothing other than a slave labor camp to call a spade a spade. This situation can no longer be allowed to continue. In this regard, and further to our letter of ultimatum dated June 26, 2023, all workers in all aviation logistics companies in Nigeria are hereby directed to totally withdraw services as of August 16, 2023, indefinitely until our demand for fair remuneration is met. Please note that only the National Secretariat of NUAT is authorized to issue any further directives on this matter. State councils and branches of NUAT in Abuja, Lagos, Kano, Port Harcourt, and Enugu are hereby directed to be on hand to assure full compliance with this notice. Now, first of all, it's a very serious issue, but let's look at it from the general societal view. The 30,000 naira they are talking about is a standard minimum wage in the country, but these workers are saying that is too small regarding the economic realities in the country and the level of work they have to do in the aviation sector. And for that, they are down in tools because there has not been any improvement since they decided to call for negotiations and renegotiations. What is your take on that?
Well, they have rights. They have right to do whatever they want to do. They are human beings. This is a country where people are receiving more than 29 million naira per month, as if having a token of 2 million to go on vacation. And somebody, you are paying, in the same country, you are paying somebody 30,000 naira. 30,000 naira, maybe you do your percentage. 5% of this, 5% or 10% of this, of basic salary, 10% or 50% of this. At the end of the day, it goes up to about 60 to 70,000 naira in a country. How much do you sell one packet of Indomie now? So when we talk about this country, it's just that for me, I'm not excited leaving this country. That's just one thing. It has never been my dream, okay, let me run away from Nigeria. Otherwise, the way we do things in this country, our government doesn't just show concern about the people at all. Say, these are your citizens. For these persons, you are in government. For these persons, you are in government. You are not in government for animals. You are in government to seek the welfare of your citizens. Those that you can say, colleagues, patriots. Those are the people who will vote for you. In the next 4 years, we'll come to them to come and vote for you. 30,000 naira. Let us negotiate. You